The truth about fuel injector cleaners. Mechanics don't say. Did you know that over 70% of engine misfires, rough idling, and poor fuel economy are linked directly to dirty fuel injectors? And yet, most mechanics will never tell you the real truth about those $10 to $20 fuel injector cleaners on the shelf. Some drivers swear a single bottle transformed their car overnight. Others say it's snake oil. But here's the kicker. One wrong bottle can actually destroy your fuel system and cost you over $2,000 in repairs. So today I'm revealing the truth about fuel injector cleaners. What works, what doesn't, and the one insider trick that mechanics quietly use but rarely admit to their customers. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also show you a bonus pro method to clean injectors like the experts, without ever removing them from your engine. Section 1. Why fuel injectors matter more than you think. Your engine is basically a controlled explosion happening thousands of times per minute. For that explosion to be efficient, your fuel injectors need to spray fuel in a perfect fine mist. But over time, carbon deposits, ethanol buildup, and microscopic dirt clog those tiny nozzles. Instead of a fine mist, you get a weak spray or even droplets. The result? Hard starts on cold mornings, sluggish acceleration, 10 to 15% worse fuel economy, and in severe cases, engine knocking and misfires. Now here's the truth manufacturers don't emphasize. Modern engines, especially direct injection engines, GDI, are far more sensitive to injector clogging than older port injection engines. That's why fuel system maintenance isn't optional anymore. It's critical if you want your car to reach 200,000, 300,000, or even 500,000 miles. Section 2. Do fuel injector cleaners actually work? Here's where the controversy starts. Walk into any auto parts store and you'll see dozens of bottles promising to restore lost power and clean injectors instantly. But which ones are real and which ones are just marketing? According to studies from the American Automobile Association, AAA, and independent mechanic shops, not all injector cleaners are created equal. The key ingredient you want is called polyethyramine, or PEA. This chemical has been proven in lab tests to break down stubborn carbon deposits in injectors, intake valves, and even the combustion chamber. Cheaper products often use detergents like PIB or PIBA, which may help with moisture or prevent buildup, but don't actually remove baked-on deposits. So if your bottle doesn't list PEA on the label, you're basically paying for expensive scented fuel. Brands like Chevron Techron, Gumut Regain, and Redline SI1 are consistently rated by mechanics and independent tests as the most effective because they use a high concentration of PEA. Section 3. The myth mechanics don't tell you. Now here's where psychology kicks in and where many mechanics keep quiet. Think about it. If every driver learned to use a $12 bottle of injector cleaner once every 5,000 miles, how many fewer cars would come into the shop with injector replacements, rough idle complaints, or poor fuel economy diagnostics? Exactly. Shops make thousands replacing injectors, fuel pumps, and even catalytic converters damaged by improper combustion. So it's no surprise this trick isn't pushed at you when you bring your car in. Instead, most mechanics will tell you injector cleaners don't work. But here's the truth. They don't work if you wait too long. If your injectors are completely blocked, no bottle will save you. You'll need a professional cleaning or replacement. But if you use them preventively, they can absolutely extend the life of your fuel system and keep your car running like new. Section 4. The proper way to use injector cleaner. Here's the part most drivers get wrong. They dump a bottle into a nearly full gas tank and then wonder why they don't notice results. The correct way, add the cleaner when your tank is nearly empty. Then fill up with fresh, top-tier gasoline to mix it thoroughly. Drive normally until the tank is almost empty again. This ensures maximum contact with the injectors. Pro tip, do this every 5,000 miles or about twice a year, depending on how much you drive. Pair it with your oil change schedule so you never forget. This simple habit can prevent 90% of injector issues before they ever happen. Section 5. The hidden danger of cheap fuel injector cleaners. Here's where things get scary. Some bargain injector cleaners don't just fail to clean your injectors, they can damage fuel system components. Certain additives leave behind sticky residues that clog instead of cleaning. Worse, overly harsh solvents can eat away at seals, O-rings, and even your fuel pump. One wrong bottle might save you $5 at the store, only to hand you a $1,200 repair bill later. That's why experts always recommend sticking with well-documented brands and never experimenting with mystery additives. And we're just getting started. In the next part, I'll reveal the pro-level cleaning methods mechanics use, the one injector cleaner you should avoid at all costs, and the bonus DIY trick that can restore lost horsepower in less than 30 minutes. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Section 6. Professional versus over-the-counter cleaners. So let's get real. Those $10 to $15 bottles you buy at the store, they can absolutely help prevent problems. But when injectors are already gummed up with thick carbon or varnish, you'll need something stronger. That's where professional pressurized fuel system cleaning comes in. Shops connect your fuel rail to a specialized canister filled with a concentrated cleaning solution, running the engine directly on it. This bypasses the gas tank entirely and forces a high dose through the injectors. Results: often dramatic. Engines that misfire or idle rough suddenly smooth out. Fuel trims return to normal. But here's the catch. Most shops charge between $100 and $200 for this service. So here's the insider tip. If you've been using a PEA-based cleaner regularly, you may never need this service. But if you bought a high-mileage used car with unknown maintenance history, a one-time professional cleaning can be worth every penny. Section 7. The one cleaner you should avoid. Now let me save you from a costly mistake. Some injector cleaners on the market are alcohol-heavy formulations. These can dry out rubber seals, corrode sensitive metal components, and even cause premature pump failure. Alcohol blends were more common years ago, but believe it or not, some are still sold in bargain bins today. If the ingredient list doesn't mention PEA but highlights solvents or alcohol base, steer clear. Mechanics know these products do more harm than good, but you'll rarely hear that in a sales pitch. Section 8. Injector cleaners and catalytic converters. Here's another truth most people miss. Injector cleaners don't just affect your injectors. They also impact your catalytic converter downstream. Why? Because incomplete combustion from dirty injectors sends unburned fuel into the exhaust system. Over time, this overheats and damages the catalytic converter, a part that can cost $1,000 to $3,000 to replace. Using the right injector cleaner actually protects your catalytic converter by restoring proper spray patterns, improving combustion, and reducing excess fuel. It's one of the cheapest ways to safeguard one of the most expensive parts on your car. Section 9. Injector cleaners in modern cars, hybrids, turbo, GDI. The debate gets even hotter with modern engines. Direct injection, GDI. These engines are notorious for carbon buildup on injectors and valves because fuel doesn't wash over the intake valves anymore. Here, using a strong PEA cleaner is essential, but you may also need periodic walnut blasting for valves. Turbo engines. Turbos run hotter and leaner, making injector deposits form faster. Consistent cleaner use keeps turbo engines running strong. Hybrids. Hybrids cycle their engines on and off, which creates short, uneven combustion events that can foul injectors faster. That's why Toyota and Honda mechanics quietly recommend more frequent cleaner use, about every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Bottom line, the newer and more high-tech your engine, the more critical injector maintenance becomes. Section 10. The DIY injector cleaning hack. Here's the bonus tip I promised. You don't need to spend $200 at a dealership to get a deep clean. With the right kit, you can perform a pressurized injector cleaning at home. Buy a fuel injector cleaning kit, around $50 to $70 online. It comes with a canister, hose, and regulator that connect directly to your fuel rail. Fill the canister with a concentrated PEA-based cleaner. Disable your fuel pump fuse, connect the canister, and run the engine on the solution until it's empty. This forces pure cleaner through the injectors, far more powerful than just adding it to a tank. Done carefully, it gives near-professional results for a fraction of the cost. Important: always follow the kit's safety instructions. Fuel under pressure is no joke. Section 11. The psychological factor. Why drivers skip this. Here's the funny thing. Most drivers don't do this simple maintenance because they don't feel the difference immediately. Unlike an oil change, where you see clean fluid, or new tires, where you feel grip, injector cleaners work silently. But this is where smart drivers separate themselves from average ones. Preventive care is invisible until it saves you thousands. Ask yourself, would you rather spend $12 twice a year on prevention or $1,200 plus later on new injectors and a catalytic converter? That's the kind of decision that makes or breaks a 300,000-mile car. Section 12. Final recap plus engagement. So here's the truth boiled down. Yes, fuel injector cleaners work, but only if you use the right kind with PEA. Use them preventively, not as a last resort. Stick to trusted brands like Techron, Gamut Regain, and Redline SI1. For already dirty injectors, consider professional or DIY pressurized cleaning. And never fall for the cheap alcohol-heavy junk. It can cost you more than it saves. Do this, and your fuel system will thank you with smoother acceleration, better gas mileage, and fewer costly repairs down the road. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever used a fuel injector cleaner? Did it make a difference, or was it a waste of money? Drop your experience in the comments. I'll be reading them and responding.